or 2 weeks ago when I was here, I asked how many people had credit cards, and most of you raised your hands, right? Do you know everything about them? Do you know anything about them? Carry them. Use them.
No, you have like a main credit score, and to keep your credit high, you must watch your spending. I know that, because if you max out your card, you basically kill your credit right there with the first card. So you have to be careful.
This is an easy time to get into trouble. I wish that I had this kind of information when I was in college. You know, so I'm here today. You guys want to take a little quiz and see how much you know?
Sure. Hell yeah.
All right, here we go. I have candy to throw at you if you get it right. So let's see. All right, if you lose your credit card and someone makes charges on it, how much are you liable for? Is it A, all the charges? B, a maximum of 50 per card? C, nothing if you report it in 90 days? Or D, nothing if the charges don't exceed 500?
A, unless the card
Who says
specifies
A?
otherwise.
Who said A? Who says B? Nobody? Okay, who says C?
I'm gonna guess it's B.
And who says D?
I said C.
All right, let's see.
C.
Nobody got it.
See, that's
B.
what she's like, nobody?
It's a maximum of 50 per card, although most companies have a zero liability policy. But technically, by law, $50 per card. All right, true or false? You better get this one. Experts say paying the minimum on your statement is the way to go.
False. False. False.
False. Exactly. Paying the minimum is going to sink you. You're going to have a bad time. Okay? It's going to take you forever to pay it off. And actually, they started putting on the statement. I don't know if you guys even look at your statements. Do you look at your statements? Okay, they put in your statements how long it will take you to pay it off if you pay just the minimum. It's crazy long.
And how much you'll actually spend.
Yeah, and how much you actually spent, which is going to be a lot more than what you actually bought. Okay, what is APR? Is it a flat fee charged once a year for using your card? Is it B, the true interest rate you pay over the course of a year when you have an outstanding balance? Is it C, absolutely perfect rate? Or is it D, annual prorated fee? Who says A? Who says B? C. D. Actually, B.
Oh, the hell was B again?
You say B? You want a treat?
No.
All right. Which is not a factor in determining your credit score? A, marital status. B, payment history. C, the length of your credit history. Or D, the types of credit you have.
A.
A?
B.
Who says A? Who says B?
I'm not sure.
C. D.
Yeah, D. I have to choose, I'm not sure.
The answer is A.
Wow.
Ready? Ready? Oh,
So we really don't need one.
there's lots of reasons to get married, but your credit score is not one of those reasons. Okay, what can be affected by a low credit score? A, your ability to get a job. B, your ability to get a cell phone. C, your ability to get an apartment. D, all of the above. Or E, none of the above. You're protected from credit discrimination.
All of the above.
Who says A? B. C. D. E. E. All right, the answer was D. Getting a cell phone. Getting a job. Your employers check that. There's actually studies that show a direct correlation between credit score and attendance. All that. You guys want candy? Who wants candy? Catch it?
I'll catch it.
Okay, ready?
Laugh attack.
Do you want? Thank you. I'm scared.
Alright.
Back up.
Alright, one more. I think there's one or two more. Which of these will likely not boost your credit score? Okay? Paying your bills on time, opening several credit accounts at once, paying down your balance, or having a mixed type of credits, which will not help your credit score. A,
D.
B, C, D.
I'm between B and D.
Well,
All right, get off the fence. Pick.
what do you mean the difference between B and D though? Like multiple credit cards, like different.
Having a mixed different types of credit means like buying a car, having a credit card. Those are lines of credit.
Oh, then it's B.
All right, ready? B.
Yeah.
Opening a lot of credit at one time makes your appear risky. Okay, you guys want candy? Alright. Do you want to get all these? No, you can't. That's why I'm here to help you. Alright, statistics. The average credit card debt per household that has credit card debt is $15,956.
Yeah,
That's huge. That's the average in America.
that's great.
Right? $15,596. The total U.S. revolving debt is $801 billion. 98% of that's made up of credit card debt. And the total U.S. consumer debt is $2.5 trillion.
Good.
Mind blowing. I read this article recently by Martin Mercer, and this is a direct quote from the article. It says, "Some have exclaimed that credit cards are a greater threat on campus than alcohol or sexually transmitted diseases."
What?
Yeah.
One more time. Credit cards.
Credit cards, because students don't learn how to use them right away.
So they buy the alcohol, which is the problem. So
Leads, yes, okay. So let's talk about some terms. So your annual fee. The annual fee is a flat yearly charge for using a credit card. A lot of cards have no annual fees. You see that? And if they do, companies are often willing to waive them to get your business. A finance charge is a dollar amount you pay to use the credit, which includes cash advance fees. And you generally pay a higher interest rate on cash advance fees. It's never a good idea to take cash against your credit card. Grace period. Grace period is the time period that you have to pay your bill after the due date. Usually it's about 25 days if you're paying it in full. Otherwise, there's no grace period. Okay? There's also no grace period for cash advance fees either. The annual percentage rate, the APR, is the yearly percentage rate of the finance charge. Fixed rate is when you pay the same interest rate across the board, whereas your variable rate fluctuates. So it's usually the prime rate, which varies, plus an added percentage, about 3.9% usually. So it's important to look at your statement and see if you're paying a fixed or a varying interest rate. An introductory rate is a temporary lower APR. So when you sign up, you get 0 APR or 5% APR for a fixed amount of time, usually 6 to 12 months, and then it bounces up. All right, I'm going to talk about some of the different types of credit cards, just so you know your options and what's out there. We're going to talk about standard credit cards with rewards programs, credit union cards, airline cards, student credit cards, and credit repair cards. So balance transfer cards. Does anyone know what those are? Okay. Balance transfer cards are if you have a card where you run up a lot of charges and it's at a high interest rate, you can transfer it to another card with a low introductory interest rate. Now the thing with this is you're going to be paying a transfer fee, which is a percentage of what you owe. And it usually bounces up after 6 to 12 months to a higher APR. A low interest credit card is also a low introductory. It's usually 0 to 5%, and again it bounces up after 6 to 12 months. Make sure you read all the terms and conditions that apply to see how high it's going to bounce to. Cash back cards, these are actually awesome if you pay it off each month. Then you're getting something for nothing. If you don't pay it off each month, it's costing you more money. Okay? Because you get usually about 1% cash back, but the APR is higher. See the difference? These usually have a yearly fee of $50 to $100 to use it. And again, it's best for people who are faithful in paying it off every month. General reward points cards are very similar. You're earning points for every dollar you spend, and you get to turn in those points for gift cards or restaurant vouchers or whatever. Again, it's only worthwhile if you're paying it off each month, because then you're getting something for nothing. Retail rewards cards, that's your Old Navy, your Target, or whatever, the store credit cards. Same thing, you're earning points, but you can only use them in that store. Credit union cards are more for budget-minded people. They are cheaper to have, lower interest rates. Credit unions are nonprofit organizations that are owned by the members that bank with them. So it's a lot less expensive, but it also has less bells and whistles from the big bank cards. Airline mile cards, that's like your USA MasterCard, things like that. You're earning points to trade for airline flights. There's generic airline cards like Miles by Discover, and those you could redeem with any participating airline. Student credit cards. How many of you guys have student credit cards? You have to check. Okay. Well, student credit cards are kind of like a scaled back version of a credit card. These are good when you're coming out of your parents' house and you don't have a credit history. Because it's a catch-22. You need credit history to get credit history. So, right? Who was just saying that? Was it you? Saying that you got your Token card because you didn't have a long enough credit history, right?
Correct. I have credit.
You have credit, though. So this is a good way to build credit. You have to be enrolled in a 4-year institution.
Which we're not.
You're not?
3 years.
Okay. I'm sure they have deals, though.
I think it's considered sort of trimester school.
So for this, they're a scaled back version with less, you don't get like the rewards and all that, but they are willing to extend credit, and if you can show that you can use your credit responsibly, then that's when you start getting the offers in the mail to be pre-approved for the other fancier cards. So this is a good way to start credit history. And then if you screw up, there's secured credit cards. This is how you have to rebuild your credit history. Because once you damage your credit, it's hard to get credit extended to you. So this is one way to do it. Secured credit cards are like a hybrid between a debit card and a credit card. And what you're doing is you're putting your own money on the card and you're using it like a debit card, but it's reported to through credit bureaus. So you're building a credit history. Now these cards are more expensive because not only are you putting your own money on it, but you also have to pay fees. So these are good for temporary use, to use for a couple months till you are starting to rebuild your credit to show that you're paying it back each month because you're replenishing it each month. Once you get to that point, you'll start getting offers again.
What kind of fees are you charging?
Well, I actually was anticipating that question. So I just went on this website and just to pull up some because I wanted to look at that too. And they charge annual fees. So this has a $29 annual fee. The APR is 22.9%. That's pretty high.
That's what a lot of cards are.
Yeah, these do.
18 to 22.
And this is on your own money. Now, why would you want to do it? Because it's one of the few ways you can rebuild your credit. So, again, you do this for a few months. You are responsible with it, and then you'll start getting the offers again for the other credit cards, and you close those. And I threw this on here just so we knew the difference. You see those Visa cards at Publix at the checkout line, the gift cards. Why are they not like real credit cards?
Just because money on it. You can pay the amount of money you put on there.
You want to track where your money going.
Right. It's not reported to the credit union, the credit bureaus. So you could spend it however you want. They're never going to know, So these aren't really technically credit cards. But they're good to have if you ever need, to use a credit card for something and you don't have one. So let's talk about using credit wisely. Okay, first of all, when you're picking a credit card, make sure you read the fine print. Know what you're getting, okay? I mean, you guys, when I was in college, I think they were a little bit more predatory back then. I would sign up for credit cards because I wanted a t-shirt that they were offering. If you sign up for this credit card, we'll give you a t-shirt. Okay. And that was bad. So,
They put in a lot of these things that
It's a crazy world.
right. It's changed. It's a while ago. So now, when you're signing up for credit cards, it's important to look for a few things. Make sure it's a low APR. And if it's going to go up, see what it's going to go up to. See if it's 22.9% or 17%. Or, it's important to know that. Make sure there's low or no annual fees. Check out all the other charges. See if there's late payment fees, how much that is. Transaction fees, how much that is. If they're going to even charge transaction fees, they shouldn't. Grace periods. Find out how long grace periods are for. Limit the number of credit cards you have.
never.
Don't spend more than you can afford to pay on a monthly basis, obviously. Keep track of your spending. We all have internet, smartphones, whatever. Keep track. Make sure more than just once a month that all those charges on there are correct and yours. Okay? If you're getting lots of offers in the mail for pre-approved cards, do you guys get those? Yeah? You can actually opt out of that. You go to a website called optoutprescreen.com. And the reason why this is a good idea to do, I'm going to actually teach a class in 2 weeks, I think, on identity theft. If you have all these pre-approved offers coming to your house, someone can lift those. It's already pre-approved. So they can open a line of credit in your name. So if you go to this website, optoutprescreen.com, you can opt out of having those sent to you. Don't be afraid to negotiate terms. You actually can negotiate the credit card terms. People don't know it, and that's why credit card companies make so much money. Because they are banking on the fact that you think that they're a giant institution and you're just a little guy. That's not really the case. You can actually call them and say, I pay faithfully every month. Can you please lower my interest rate? And frequently they will. Or you could say, I don't want to pay the annual fee. I could open a card somewhere else. Can you waive it? And they frequently will. You can negotiate these terms. So just know that you can call them and they'll work with you. Close your credit account correctly. Has anyone ever closed a credit card? No?
Close one?
What? What was that? If you want to close your credit card, if you have 17 credit cards, you don't want one anymore. You should send them a letter rather than call them. If a credit card company closes your account for you, it hurts your credit score. If you close your credit card, it doesn't. Now, you're saying, but I'm calling them to close it. Well, yeah, but there's actually no record. They could say that they closed it, and it'll hurt your score. So if you send them a letter through certified mail and keep a copy, then you're straight. Never max out your available credit lines, even if you pay it off in full each month. If you have one credit card with a $1,000 limit, and you max it out and you pay it off each month, you're actually hurting your credit score. I'm going to do a whole class on this, but you're better off having 3 credit cards with that limit and spending $333 on each of those 3 cards. You're spending the same amount of money, but you're not going to hurt your credit score because you have more available credit to you. Do you understand that? No? So part of your credit score is based on how much available credit you have. Okay? So I have enough available credit to get me to Europe and back. If I had only enough available credit to get me to Miami and back, it's not as great, right?
The way gas prices is?
All right, I'm gonna do a whole class on that, so don't worry too much. All right. So, how to get out of debt? I heard someone saying that they pay on their credit cards, but it never really gets them anywhere. I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Doing it yourself is the best option, but I'm gonna show you 2 options. Let me just skip ahead. So say I have 4 credit cards, and I want to get out of debt. I'm going to list all 4 credit cards. I'm going to list the APR for those 4 credit cards. I'm going to list the balance, and I'm going to list the minimum payment that's required. Okay, I'm going to put them in order of the highest interest rate at the top. That's the one that's costing you the most money to keep a balance on. Okay, so that's the one we want to hit hard and hit fast. So what we're going to do is pay the minimum amount on all of these, except for the one that's costing us the most money. I'm sorry, I'm touching this one. So I look at my budget and I see I could swing an extra $200 a month. I'm going to throw that at the card that's costing me the most money and pay just the minimum on the other ones. You follow me?
Technically, Discover costing you the most money there.
Well, you could do it either way.
Because they have
I
the
put
same
that one there because
interest
you'll
rate,
hit
but
that one will get wiped out faster. It's the same thing though.
you owe more. So the interest rate's going to add more money to you.
Do it again.
Okay.
But it's good. So I want to get rid of the top one first. So I'm going to put my extra $200 I've allocated and just pay the Bank of America card and pay the minimum on all the rest. So now I'm paying $260 a month on Bank of America. In 11 months, I'm going to wipe that one out. Now I'm going to take that $260 that I was paying towards Bank of America, I'm going to add it to my Discover card. Now I'm paying $350 a month to the Discover card. That's going to hit that one even faster. So you're snowballing it, okay? And you're just going to pay the minimum on the other ones. Does this make sense? Did I lose anyone? Okay, again, always try and negotiate with them because they will. And what's the worst they could say is no, right? You just have to pick up the phone. And because I work for Military Debt Management Agency, we're actually a credit, we do debt management plans, so I have to throw this in here. This is the only third-party assistance that won't hurt your credit score, okay? What they do is they negotiate on your behalf with your creditors to lower your interest rate to between 2 and 10% and to wipe out any over-limit fees and all those fees. The trade-off, so here's the between 2 and 10%, and your debts are consolidated into one payment. Now there's a trade-off, of course, there's always a trade-off. The trade-off is those credit cards on this program are no longer allowed to be used, okay? Because the creditors, for them to agree for you to join this program, they want their money back. And they know if you're on this program, they'll get their money back as long as you're not spending anymore. Does that make sense? So here's just an example that same balance, same monthly payment. If you decrease your APR to 6% from 24.99, and this is a real credit card and that's a real interest rate, you'll pay it off way quicker, from 55 months to 36 months, and look how much you're going to save on interest. It's a huge deal. Interest is huge. That's why it's very important to look at your interest rate when you're signing up. Okay, some quick safety tips. I'm almost done. Sign your credit card. Never give your credit card number over the phone unless you call them. If someone calls you, don't do it. Get cards with your ID, with your picture if you can. Add security features. Make sure you only have 1 to 2 cards in your wallet. You don't need to be carrying 16 wallets. What if you lose your wallet?
What if I leave it at home?
Are you gonna use a different credit card for everything you do today?
I do.
Do you really?
Yes. I do exactly
We'll
what
talk
you said.
about
I don't
options.
max out one, I spread it through others.
Okay. Check your monthly statement, of course, again, like I said, to make sure all the charges are your own. And who we are. So I work for Military Debt Management Agency. We're a nonprofit organization. I told you all this last week. Here is my contact if you want to email me or call me. I'm available by email all the time, 24/7. My references. Anyone have any questions? No?
Rebecca, what's the most frequently asked question that you get at these seminars as you go around to college campuses about credit?
That's the most frequently asked question. I update this PowerPoint every time I teach it, so I've been adding everything in there.
Okay.
So I have to think about that.
I didn't know if there was one thing that people are concerned about the most out there.
I think people don't generally understand how interest builds.
Okay.
and that seems to be usually the issue.
Okay.
Like if you go out to dinner, you spend $50, you charge it, but you pay it off over 12 months.
Right.
Your dinner is going to cost a lot more than $50.
And then a survey for you to fill out on the way out.
I have a
I just
question.
want food too.
Oh,
But
She was at- I'm sorry.
I lost my question.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. It's okay.
Sorry, Devin.
my
No,
question
she's here
is,
for questions, so I didn't mean to close it down. Just, I'll be sure to fill out a survey because we want to know how well she did.
my question
And what
is,
else you learned.
What's your question?
like, I had a credit card debt, and I was passed away before I could finish paying off my credit card debt. Do it go on to like my children? Do they have to pay it off?
I don't think so.
He's gonna fake his own death now.
Is that what you're going to do? No, I don't think so.
You would just be a
It's
bum.
tied to your credit score, so you're just. Is it?
You would just be a bum.
Anyone else? Any other questions?
Unless you have something in your will giving them money, then they'll take it out of that.
Rebecca, I heard on the back of your credit card when you get a new one, instead of signing your signature, you should put in front of it C photo ID.
That's a good idea. Do you do that? Do you get checked a lot?
No.
Nope, usually when
People
it,
check me in 5 years.
Yeah,
Somebody told me to
see.
do that.
no, what, I used to have to run them all the time, and whenever it said CAD, I wouldn't check it, because I knew nobody would use it.
I got yelled at when I was a cashier once.
For that? For not checking?
Really loud. I had a manager come up and
Yeah, but the worst is when like you
Just
send
for
your
one
kid in,
person.
all right, just get me something to drink, and then they're like, yeah, I can't use your credit card, it says C or ID, and I don't look like you, and
Yeah, it really depends on the person. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I did it because I was like being a nice guy and just doing it for them. But
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, even I would like sometimes not even read the back of the
Right.
credit card.
And that's, I think, the norm.
When I
don't know if you
done it,
guys
what we
know.
did was, and if you even use a credit card, we had to see your ID just to make sure it was you.
That's important. I mean,
Yeah.
places that do that are frequent.
Right, so we just got used to saying that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys know, the post office actually, there's in post office, they actually have printed, if your credit card has CID written in the back, that is not a signature. They actually have the right to take the credit card off, ask you for an identification, and you have to sign them in front of them, so they
Oh,
can
wow.
return you the credit card. Because technically CID is not a signature.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen that before. It's at the post office?
At the post office, I have seen it in a couple post office. I'm from Pennsylvania, so that's where I have seen them. But I haven't used to a one here. But yeah, over there, it literally bold, black and white. If you're